Alright, let's get you guys some spinning magical top games, shall we? Beyblade Revolution. So, it's always kind of awkward to fade to your own game as a restreamer, because like, how do you introduce yourself, right? It's like, how do you introduce yourself as a restreamer? But this is how we do it, I guess. So, first thing you're gonna notice is this is on emulator. Sorry, I don't own a Game Boy. Sorry, but one thing that we do, that with me and Cards of the Heart, who routed this game, by the way, huge shoutouts to Cards of the Heart, is we made a rule set that actually allows people to essentially record emulator movies, which is good fallback in case, you know, your video record. Like, it's like a triple fallback. Like, even if your video recording fails, like you stream, for example, and your local recording, you still have that backup. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to be starting the game right here. Enjoy the Game Boy intro. And yes, well, you could, in theory, if you're not on, if you're on emulator, you could, in theory, stop the, like, not have the BIOS loaded. We do require the BIOS if you're on emulator, so we try to make it as equal as we can, given that the emulation cores are pretty much pretty accurate for Game Boy. So one thing you're also gonna notice is music's still playing. This is because, just listen to this. Yeah, no. I actually got I actually asked about this. I sent a link to the soundtrack to Skip, and he was like, yeah, no. So, I hope you guys enjoy the general, like, Rogue intermission playlist, because this is what's gonna be playing during the run. It's a pretty good playlist anyway, and this music, it's great, but, like, you know, it's great. Like, the idea behind the music in this game is great, like, absolutely great, but, like, it got so much compressed that it's like, yeah, screw it. Anyways, time is, you know, when you start the new game, so let's just, I guess in normal marathon fashion, 3, 2, 1, go. So, Beyblade Revolution, it's actually based on the anime, where you know, the anime starts you off with, you know, Daiki coming to the park and Tyson being all like, you know, I'm the best, but Daiki's best. This game doesn't start like that. This game starts you off by doing like 30 minutes of just other stuff. So yeah, cutscenes. I hope you guys enjoy the text box. Also, this game's 60 FPS, and these cutscenes don't have like any, like, you can't hold A and you can hit them the first frame, you know, that error appears. So technically every text box is also like, you know, a chance to save time, and I'm really bad at mashing. So if you're good at mashing, you could probably already save like 15 seconds over the entire run compared to me. But yeah, we're just gonna pick up some parts from our room here, configure a Beyblade. This is just, you know, how do you explain this? It's just the best setup we have. Also, we go to settings and disable tips. I almost forgot that. Also, doors. You just... Great! I was gonna save it for later, but doors are really hard in this game too. You just saw that, so yeah. But yeah, this game starts you off by... This music's a bit loud, let's turn that down. This game starts you off by just, you know, at your house, grandpa wakes you up, and just some stuff about a sword and your dreams about a dragon, and we don't care about it, we want to get to spinning tops, right? 60 FPS frame perfect dialogue? Yep. Like, I'm not kidding, if you, like, I have an input display at the bottom, and we actually require it as well if you want to submit a video recording. And you can see, like, I'm not good at mashing. Like, if I try to mash faster, we're actually in danger of, like, actually, like, damaging my hand. That's how bad I am at mashing. So, if you can mash good, you already have a time save for me, but... You know, this game, you know, if this game didn't have RNG, this game wouldn't be at the marathon, so... But yeah, this start is pretty much just chill. I hope you guys like the Rogue-a-rama playlist. Gotta stay hydrated, because I certainly do. So while we're in the cutscenes here, I should probably introduce my co-commentator, which is going to be a 1.5 liter bottle of SodaStream energy drink syrup. That's not a joke, I actually made that. Because here in Germany we have a thing called SodaStream, and they have an energy drink flavor which is, I'm not kidding, if you part it 1 to 25, as in 25 parts of water, it's still as strong as like actual like Monster and Rockstar. This thing is so strong. And I'm pretty tired, and I've already been restreaming for like 4 or 5 hours, so I'm gonna need that. Anyway, that co-commentator is probably gonna disappear over the course of the run. Anyway, we're heading over to Ray's house because we didn't pick our ripcord and the lantern from the house. These are like scattered really far in the house. And it turns out that if you just, you know, ask Ray for a practice match, Ray will give you a ripcord and a launcher for free. He says you can't keep it, but if you decline the match, you actually do get to keep it. And this is faster than picking up the ripcord and the launcher from your house. So, you know, the game starts off great, you essentially just steal Ray's ripcord and launcher. It's great. Anyway, first fight here, Sean, it's just right side of Ray's battle. It's just a... First, you know, it's actually the weakest opponent in the game. We do it because of, we need some XP. But anyway, we got a perfect launch there. And you can probably see what this does is... Okay, you can't, sorry. It's been a long day for me. If you get a perfect launch, that is either 96% on the ripcord, 100% on the ripcord, or 96% on the ripcord, which is 3 frames at the end of the ripcord. You essentially have to hold A, and then you have to release A in these 3 frames. Also, I don't know what's going on with the rendering. I didn't have this earlier, but I am recording a movie file, so if this is a glitch on my end, I can just play back the movie. And if you get a perfect launch, you actually get 1/3 of your bit beast meter already full. I'm gonna explain combos later, I just want to explain the bit beasts first. Because bit beasts in this game and perfect launches are like the biggest time thing. So, if you get within these 3 frames, then you start off with 1/3 of a bit beast, and you can see that does a lot of damage. Bit beast in this game is like the super attack. You're supposed to build it up over the course of attacks, but if you get a perfect launch, you start off essentially with 3 damage, which means if you miss that 3 frame window, yeah, you're gonna, depending on how much health your opponent has, you're gonna look bad. Anyway, we went there for the park because we have to go to the park, else Max doesn't show up. Max here is, you know, the little blonde-haired guy here. And he is essentially like the owl in, what's it called? In Ocarina of Time. And I mean this literally. Max is gonna ask us if you understood what he says. And the default option is on no, and he's gonna repeat everything again. That's not a joke, but I like to call it, you know, the owl. Hey, keep an eye. I thought it was 1 text box later. We're off to a great start. We're off to a great start. I thought it was 1 text box later. We're off to a great start. Oh my god. Alright. I actually thought it was 1 text box later, but there you go. That's immediate like 20 seconds loss. Yeah, I thought it was another text box because on the other thing, on this second part, the last sentence is cut in 3 parts. 1, 2, 3, there you go, that's why I messed it up. Anyway, with the XP we got from our first fight against Sean, we can actually challenge Max now. And we're still gonna be at level 1, but this fight is gonna give us level 2 with the previous Sean fight. That's where we do it. That's why we fight Sean there first, because of just how the XP progression works in this game. If we didn't fight Sean, we'd essentially be short XP at some later point, and it just happens to work out this perfectly. Routing-wise, one thing I do want to point out is that I did not route this game. That honor goes to Cards of the Heart. Cards of the Heart essentially routed this game from top to bottom. Like, no one ran this game, and then Cards just came and was like, hey, here's a route. I'm like, oh yeah, I played this game as a kid. You know, I can play this. And then, yeah, I kind of beat this down for like 20 minutes, so XD. Also, shoutouts to R30 changing the game. Also, I don't know what's going on with the music, but thankfully I have hotkeys to change that. Max reversing us here. Actually, while we're fighting against Max, I don't know what's going on with the music. There we go. Much better. So while we're fighting against Max, I should probably explain the combo system again, because most of them are just going to be mashing attacks, but then when I connect with a blade like this, I'm gonna press up, down, A most of the time. Oh, Max almost ringed himself out. I can talk about that later. So up, down, A does a normal combo like this. But if our opponent is close to the edge of the ring, I want to actually do a different combo, because then I can get the blade stuck between the opponent and the wall, and most of the time it will do more hits. And that combo is R left A. But I want the opponent blade to be stuck near the edge of the ring for that, and like it needs to be super close. Like not even this is close enough. It needs to be like pretty much anti-ring already. Also, if your opponent is too strong, and defends, it can actually like, if you attack them, it can reverse back, and you won't be able to like essentially they will damage you, they can combo you. But this might be an all-left combo, this might be a good show-off. There you go, you saw that, so many extra hits there. Anyway, you can see Max actually has a bit beast here. You might be like, why? This is scary, but it's not. Max doesn't usually use his bit beast. Now that I say it, I'm probably getting jinxed. I've lost runs to this before, where Max actually used his bit beast, but most of the time it doesn't happen, so don't worry about this. I say this and I'm probably gonna get bit beast on by Max, but we're gonna be hitting our second bit beast, and we actually do, even though like this is faster, but even if Max only had like 20 health left, we still want to use our bit beast as much as possible, because in addition to our own experience, our bit beast also has experience and will do more damage the more we use it, essentially. So over time, our bit beast will do more and more damage, and that's also I want to be straight. There you go. I think we want to use our bit beast as much as possible. Obviously, we don't want to delay a fight for bit beast, but if it's possible to use a bit beast, we will. We challenged Max twice here. We do actually get less experience if we fight the same person twice, but it's still worth, because Max just gives a metric ton of experience. It is crazy. So another thing you're noticing is that when I finish a combo and I have a bit beast, you can see me, I try to like spam L and R. That's because you saw me do it earlier. If you press L and R on the essentially L and R, but I should probably also say this, L and R holding these at the same time, like pressing them at the same time, that's how you activate your bit beast. By the way, that's nowhere in the manual, but if there's no manual for this game or anything, I actually like, okay, sorry. There is a manual for this game, because I actually owned this game as a kid, but the L and R is nowhere documented. It's a thing you're supposed to find out for yourself. Like, I have a feeling there's gonna be some kids that played through this game without ever having realized how to use that. It's kind of like a crazy crowd. But yes, the RPM is health. Another thing about the RPM, it doesn't matter for now, but the RPM is actually split in two. There's displayed RPM and true RPM. And true RPM essentially affects if the opponent can still attack and do actions or whatever. But displayed RPM can only count down to the true RPM 1 per frame. Essentially, it can go down by 60 per second. But displayed RPM is also what ends a fight. Later on, you can see right now it's counting down. It can count down faster because of our bit beast. Later on, with our bit beast doing more and more damage, we actually have to worry about overkilling our opponent. That can lose us time. So in some places, you might see me later on the run waste a bit beast early on just so I don't overkill the opponent. Because 60 RPM a second, 60 RPM a second means that if we overkill our opponent by say 1,500, we have to wait for that. That's an easy, what is it? 300, 1,800. That's what it is. 1,800 because 300 RPM is 5 seconds, and then 1,800 that's 30 seconds. So if we overkill our opponent by, let's say, 1,800, that's 30 seconds lost we have to spend waiting for our opponent to die. That's gonna be really important later, but not yet. Also, Max jump fair again. And while we're there, we should talk about jumping, because that's the main source of RNG. You might be like, where's the RNG in this game? That's where the RNG is. Because when your opponent jumps, there is a chance. I should probably use my bit beast here. Well, I can do it here. Cool. And even if we don't do any damage like this, it still counts for the bit beast XP. So we're done with Max here. And we could head to the left, but there is somebody that wants to sell us a blade, so we're not doing that. So now when we've done Max 2 times and Sean, we can actually head straight to the Skull Gang. This is supposed to be after the park, but since we have enough XP now with the 2 Max fights and Sean, we can actually go to here directly. 60 revolutions per minute per second. Okay, yeah, I have a... Let's just think the RPM reduces by 60 a second. That's a better, it's hard to talk when you've been restreaming for a few hours. But anyway, so ring outs. Your opponent can jump. And you saw it already twice where your opponent almost ringed themselves out near the edge of the arena. And if that happens, you instant win the fight. So, you can probably guess that's a lot of time save. It's not a thing you can control. There's nothing you can do. But there's also another thing. Not only can your opponents, like, jump, you know, when they're away from you, when you attack them from, like, say, far away, they might also jump on the frame where you attack them. Like, say, as I connect with the opponent's blade, they might jump. And that's essentially like a guaranteed ring out, where because they're jumping at the frame you're attacking them, they essentially get knocked into the air, and that's usually a guaranteed ring out. So the game actually plays a sound when that happens, like a whooshing noise, it's whoosh when that happens. And fun thing is, if you make a combo when the opponent jumped, the opponent actually loses their like vertical velocity and won't ring out, which means you throw away a ring out and essentially throw away like minutes of time save. That's not a joke. There's some fights where it will take like 4 or 5 minutes, and I am embarrassed to say I've done that before. And lost PBs to that, so yeah. This game's interesting, but most of the time, when we don't get ring outs like that, it's just gonna be attacking, hoping our opponent doesn't defend. And when that happens, like, assuming there weren't ring outs in this game would actually be very interesting for like a, you know, like an actual like skill game. But since there's ring outs, this game is essentially the biggest RNG meme. Also, you know, opponents can, you know, move around, randomly attack you, dodge you if they want to. But anyway, of course, bullies don't ever give up, so we're in a little bit of a tournament now. It's not just 1 fight, it's actually 4 fights. And you might have seen there's Skull and 4 crew members. You might be like, why 4 fights? Shouldn't it be 5 fights? Well, Skull's gonna pussy out. Anyway, so most of these fights will start like this. Gotta stay hydrated. Most of the fights will start like this, where, you know, you attack to see if your opponent is jumping, because at the start of a match, your opponents usually have a higher chance of jumping. Like, I've noticed that, like, when you attack right at the start, there's, like, I would have to guess, like, a 5% chance of a... I've been teased 3 times now, and it's not even 20 minutes. That's annoying. But yeah. What was I talking about? I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, 5% chance. So roughly, that's my best guess. Like, we don't know because no one has gone for the game code or anything. So it's just my best guess. And original attacks, if I had to make a best guess for that, maybe like 0.1%, so yeah. So I'm gonna do one last bit piece to finish our opponent off here. We might get an animation. Oh, cool. So not only can you essentially, on the frame, you gain control back from your previous attack if you hold if you press L and R on that exact frame. Activate the bit piece without, you know, going on the delay. You can also skip this sort of like spinning animation if your opponent's blade happens to be sort of like around the... not on the center. you heard a noise there? That was the opponent dodging to the side. That was one of two dodge attacks the opponents can do. Like one being, you know, jumping, and the other one being dodging to the side. And that was the sound for dodging to the side. So if that was a jump noise, I wouldn't have comboed there. I would have just saved like 1.5 minutes. And I forgot what I was talking about earlier. I have a terrible short-term memory. Oh, we can barely. So another thing, while I try to remember what I was talking about earlier, is that other Blader stats are also very, very slightly randomized when you start a new game. Like, it's not much, but it does matter for the first Street Fighter, because you can see if this opponent is defending, I'm breaking through their defense with one attack. Meaning, if this dude had slightly different stats, I might not be able to break through the defense. So that's cool. So, you know, that's another thing that you can lose time to early game, is your opponent having really bad stats and not being able to break through their defense. But yeah, in general, the Skull Crew has probably the highest chance. I'm risking a lot with this. Oh, yeah, that's why you don't do an R left combo when the opponent. That's what you're supposed to do. The combo before that. That's why you don't do an R left combo there when the opponent is like not close to the edge, because that will happen. You know, I should maybe use the bit beast. That might be a good idea. I have a tendency to forget using my bit beast when I'm commentating for a marathon run. Also, while this is happening, let me just very quickly move my chat, because that was... Oh, you know, maybe I should also also finish the battle. I hope the mouse cursor isn't on screen, but it shouldn't be, because I don't see it on the preview. The physics behind this... Yeah, don't think there's any. Sorry, buddy. Getting good launches today, but to be fair, I did practice them, so yes, you can actually see it in the bottom. If you look in the save slots, in the bottom, you can actually see the one, bottom left, save slots 1 is slightly, like, darker. That's because I have a save slot on 1. Because that's like a save slot for, like, you know, right before a match, where I used to practice the launches before this run. Because if I go in blind, I have a tendency to just... Did you... I feel like the opponent just jump in and just... Oh yeah, that's another thing. You can actually move if your opponent uses the bit beast. This is the first time our opponent used the bit beast. You can actually move during that, and normally you want to move to the outside because the opponent will obviously, you know, skirt around the outside. But for some reason, they did a really like inside line there, and I don't know why, but that caught me off guard. So I lost a little bit of time there. That was dumb. I was gonna do an up-down combo there, realized what might be an R left, and then it didn't end up being a good combo, so I just lost time for no reason. Anyway, I still haven't remembered what I was talking about earlier, so that's an XD. But we're done with Skull Crew pretty much here, and we're gonna be heading into the park. You know, the thing we were supposed to do earlier, you were actually supposed to go to the park first. I wanted to really use my bit beast there. I guess I'll just have to wait. And now we'll finish off the Skull Gang. Yeah, save states are great. That's one benefit of running around. Also, another thing is the final, like, I guess results screen of a battle. You can actually use A and B at the same time to scroll through these. And from someone who's, okay, never been good at it, but did play it, played Osu, which is a rhythm game mostly around 2 keys. I don't think I can explain it, like, if you don't play Osu or also, however people like to pronounce it. But if you do, you'll probably get what I mean by, you know, 2 buttons, both of them registers and input. You can probably guess what I mean by experience. Mashing through that faster. I can that's the only thing I can do. I can hit these two buttons fast because I played Osu, but not even good. Anyway, we're now in the park, and the opponents in the park have way less health, which means our Big Beast at this point is gonna do so much damage that it's actually just gonna almost kill their entire RPM. Just look at this, like bye-bye. Which means if we miss, as I said earlier, missing how much time missing a perfect launch is gonna lose you depends on the opponent you're fighting. And in the park, that's a huge time loss. Like in the park, missing your Big Beast is easily 30 to 45 seconds. Like, that's a 3-frame trick. If you miss it, that's 45 seconds gone. What can you do? But honestly, 3 frames at 60 FPS, it's not that bad, let's be real. Like, it could be worse. It could be 1 frame. It's not almost frame perfect, it's 3 frames. Like, let's be real. But still, I can miss it. I've missed it before. And yeah, this game has rain, but it doesn't do anything. It's just a visual effect. Nope, it does not do anything. I wouldn't even have called it out if you didn't say anything about it. Oh, really? The opponent jumped like 2 frames later, that would have been the fight over. So, that's the RNG in this game, I hope you... That's the tease in this game. Like, the game likes to tease you with the ring outs. But aside from that, once you get into opponent AIs, it does have a lot of tech. Like, you can... Because you can control your blade, you can essentially manipulate where you want to be. And, you know, be close to the opponent's blade when your attack needs to go through, and stuff like that. Obviously, that wasn't close because I bounced off the opponent's blade, but, you know, what can you do? But yeah, this guy wants lunch. Let's let him eat, because eating is important. Anyway, we also did the park opponents in a very specific order. Because the first 3 opponents we're gonna be doing have essentially they're like a lower level than the other opponents, which means we want to do them first so we get them out and we get a level up ourselves, and we then can do the other opponents faster. Also, I have no idea what's causing these graphical glitches. Like, straight up, I didn't have them on the old setup, but this is a new, like, I had to like reinstall everything, so who knows. I'll try to fix it if I run this again, but at this point I mostly run this game for marathon, so, because, you can probably guess with ring outs, they being like 4 minutes apiece, and being like a 1% chance per fight, this isn't really fun to run for PBs. What can you do? Anyway, gonna be going into our first match against other gender. We'll take on anyone, yeah. Of course. The world of Beyblade is progressive. But 3-frame tricks are not progressive, so let's hope I get this one. There you go, 100. There you go. 100, if it says 100, that means I actually got it framed perfectly, by the way. There's 1 frame where that will happen. Also, that was another one. Oh my god. We're on a roll here. 2 frame perfects in a row. Run spliced, confirmed. But yeah, at this point, I've explained most of the gameplay basics, but it's gonna get interesting. The format of rounds is gonna change later on and stuff. So it's gonna get interesting. But for now, we're just murdering our opponents, killing their blades, and by the way, also collecting their blades. Because the opponent in a fight actually loses their blade. I mean, the loser of the fight actually loses their blade. So the thing about this is there's gonna be a really hard fight coming up after the park, and normally, if I was actually running this for PB attempts, I would not be doing it, but because if I would lose the fight, I would lose my blade, which obviously, you know, I would have to get all the parts again, everything. Like, I can take the parts. I can essentially buy blades from the shop and essentially get the same parts, and I wouldn't actually lose my Bit Beast experience because for some reason, and by the way, the only reason I know that is because this happened during Nodlux, so I lost that hard fight. You have to keep your Bit Beast experience. So it's essentially just, you know, you have to rebuy blades to get your parts, and I actually don't know what blades I would have to buy if that happens. But I had to look it up from a spreadsheet during that run, and Nodlux just allowed it. It wasn't cool. It was like 10 minutes lost. But in order for that to not happen, I will be safety saving. And that loses a lot of time because this game takes a lot of time to save. Like, it takes like 10 seconds, like just frozen for like 10 seconds. Also, this music really loud, let me turn that down. Yay for hotkeys. Yeah, the playlist isn't really audio balanced for some reason. I'll have to change that during the run. But if you notice like any like issues with it, then do let me know. Anyway, a cool thing that you can do here, if you hit right at the I missed it. If you switch from holding top to right at the exact frame you can go past the base stadium, essentially one frame, you will go exactly above the base stadium in the middle here, but below the tree, so you won't have to like navigate around the tree. So that's, you know, this game's got a bunch of frame perfects. That was close. That was the third frame. You could actually see my bar move back a frame there. So that was a little bit monker-esque. I hope that was on stream. I don't know how like OBS handles 60 F. It should have been noticeable on stream, but it actually like went back to the frame there. But yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't know much about the soundtrack actually, because I just came into this here to you know, like I was just gonna be like a normal runner for this marathon, and then you know, they were like, hey, you want to restream from us? I'm like, sure. Anyway. Last fight coming right up. It's the last fight of the park, and then we're gonna be going back to Ray. Remember that guy we stole the Ripcord and the Launcher from? Yeah. So the reason we don't fight him right there is because Ray has an enormous amount of like, he's like 5 levels above us. We would essentially be fighting with like 600 health. He would have like 3,000. It's because obviously you know, BizHawk, the Emily I'm running this on, has some re-recording tools. I've actually done like, you know, some, you know, re-record, you know, just some basic, like, you know, just reload and try and always get an attack through. And even with literally perfect RNG, you will probably not win that fight. Like, it's stupid. Unless you get a ring out, but obviously we can bank on that. Also, first big time loss to RNG, your opponents can get perfect launches too. You can see our opponent actually started with a 1/3 of a Bit Beast, and not only does that start with a Bit Beast that they might use against you, that also increases their health. And obviously, you know, as I speak of them using their Bit Beast, they do it. So hydration time for me. And that's another thing that depends on the blader. Some bladers only get like a little bit of extra, most notably in the park. But some bladers actually get like almost double their health if they get a perfect launch. It's just a stupidly huge time loss. It is annoying, to say the least. Anyway, we're done with Pocket. We're gonna be heading straight to Ray, and as I said, this fight you can lose this, especially if you miss your. Oh, that's the wrong option. Especially if you miss your perfect launch, and obviously I don't have a safe state here to fall back on. This is a normal run, so you know we're not safe stating here. So I do have to safety save here. There is because I would be losing like 10 minutes if I lose this fight. So better safe than sorry. So yeah, we don't care about launch techniques, but we do care about challenging you. So let's get Ray. This one not really important. Okay, if I didn't get that, No kidding, I would have immediately rebooted the game and just loaded it back up, because you will have a high chance of losing this fight without a perfect launch. So yeah, don't miss your perfect launch on this. Also, as I said, this fight's so hard that we can't even break through race defense. So if there's a time to get a ring out, now's the time. Ray, please. Let's RG, because this fight takes like 4 minutes. So if Ray brings himself out here, we're like 4 minutes ahead on PB, by the way. Because most of my time save in my current PB is later on. Actually, no, on my current submitted PB, the time save is early on, but I do have a 215 as a movie file, but I still need to re-encode. It's been 4 months, I'm so lazy. Oh, I will actually stick around for helping with the marathon. But yeah, this fight takes long enough and Ray will use his Speed Beast against us. So yeah. That also brings us against essentially Bit Beast spacing and why we always use it when it's available. Because the Bit Beast is divided. I'm actually gonna try something. Oh, I missed it. So if your opponent charges you, you activate your Bit Beast like a few frames before they actually hit you. They will charge into you and hit you while the Bit Beast is active, and that will give you a free hit on the Bit Beast and will be like 6 to X, essentially free damage. So I figured I'd try that, but unfortunately I missed the timing. So, Bit Beast spacing. Why do I use my Bit Beast the moment it crosses over that red line? That's because Bit Beast is only, like, the strength of the Bit Beast is only in 3 stages. There's, you know, stage 1 Bit Beast, which is, you know, when your first third is full. And then there's stage 2, there's no in between. So, if I were to say use my Bit Beast at 1.5 full thirds, like, or, you know, half a full circle, then I would essentially be wasting half my Bit Beast. And since Ray currently is around that thing, it'd be really good if Ray used it right now. Because then Ray would essentially be losing, the game's actually nice to us. So essentially Ray's essentially just wasted almost 1 entire third of his Bit Beast by enabling it there. So that's a little bit of AI luck for us. So this fight's pretty much in the bag now. We're probably not gonna lose it now, unless something stupid happens. But that's Ray done. That's probably the hardest fight in the game being done. Unfortunately, no ring out. Would have saved like 4 minutes. Watch me get a ring out when Ray has like 100 RPM left. That'd be just ultimate meme. Oh, reversal. Alright, this should finish him off. No animation skip since I was close on. Essentially, I was on the like Ray was on the outside, but I was near Ray. So essentially, I like did like a wide zoom around, and I missed the chance for to get animation skip. That's what I call when you're already in the blue, in the like blue fade, and you get and like you skip the zooming around things. It's an animation of zooming around, you know. But if you get the Bit Beast off, you know, immediately after resuming from an attack, then that's what I call an instant Bit Beast. That's like the difference between, you know, Bit Beast, like, you know, time saves. Anyway, with all of the park done, Ray being done, Max being also fought, this now finally gets us to the point where the anime starts. This entire run, these 36 minutes or something, are essentially just video game fanfiction. So, yeah. Fun fact, there's, in the community I normally run for, which is Need for Speed, which is my main. Also, I should probably get this, perfect launch. There you go. Oh, Daiki. Daiki is super aggressive, by the way, on his Bit Beast, so... on his ring out, on his jumps. So we might get a ring out here, too. Unfortunately, we missed it here. Anyway, in the Need for Speed community, well, formerly active. There's somebody called Microwave, now called Fangbite, which, I talked to a lot, we're pretty good friends. And he's also a very, like, we're not talking like, you know, like we found out and now we just spread it everywhere. Like, he's straight up open. Actually, no, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna talk about what he called this game because it might not be PG-13. It might not be considered PG-13 on the marathon, so I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm sorry, Micro, if you're in the chat, I'm sorry I can't talk about it. Because it's not really PG-13, but it depends on your definition of PG-13 and a very specific culture. So let's not talk about that. Let's talk about what's actually going on lore right now. Since now we're at the anime, what's going on lore is essentially Daiki, you know, comes into this town and says, "I'm the best," but Tyson's like, "No, I'm the best hero here." So we're in a little bit of a pickle. We fight and we win, obviously, because Ray was the only real fight you can lose, like from your opponent AI. Everything else is, you're probably only gonna lose if you, like, say, bring yourself out on the final match of a run on 3-minute PB pace and lose the World Championship because of that. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, Daiki is opponent in this game also have like literally like AI presets. Like Daiki, for example, is super aggressive, will use his mid beast immediately. Jump a lot. Like, unfortunately, we didn't get a ring out, so what can you do? It's certainly not a Need for Speed. I mean, okay, so I talked to them about this game, and we kind of came to a conclusion about this game, but I'm not going to say on stream because it might not be considered PG-13. Anyway, bye-bye, Daiki. You're not the best. So Daiki obviously never gives up. It's kind of like the like personality stick of Daiki. But if you need to go to the toilet or anything, now is the perfect time because we're gonna be having 3 sets of cutscenes here. First cutscene, Jin of the Gale shows up, some mysterious character, but essentially gives us moral advice throughout the story. Daiki wants a rematch. You're not getting a rematch. Apparently 2v2 would have been really cool if they actually put like tag team battles into this game, but you know, it's a GTA game, what can you expect? And the BBA World Championship, which is, you know, the main goal of this category. We're gonna be winning that. Fun fact, category was called Any Percent. What is this song? I'm in awe at the song. I'm gonna lower it a little bit because it was loud on my end. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that there's no 2v2. Would have been cool if they put that in. But yeah, the category used to be called Any Percent, but this game does not have a percentage counter. So I know it's nitpicky, right? But like, there's this great point about Any Percent, you know, category name Any Percent, stemming from beating a game with any percentage. It actually came from Super Metroid, if you didn't know. That's where the name Any Percent came from, Super Metroid speedrunning, because, you know, Super Metroid has an item percentage counter at the end. So, but since this game doesn't have like a percentage counter or anything, where I renamed it to World Championship. Anyway, we want to register for the BBA World Championship, but BBA HQ is closed, so let's head back home. We just beat up like the most like egoistical kid in the entire, like, that just showed up in our city. There's no way they would seek revenge and like follow us back home or something. Yeah. Yeah, Daiki follows us back home. What really wants a rematch? This is just, again, if you need to go to the toilet, there's gonna be like 4 or 5 more minutes of cutscenes left, so good tea break. Our uncle comes along, says we have a little bit of a, you know, battle. Apparently Daiki's hungry, and our grandfather's like, you know, come on, let's eat, and then hope that's the best voice acting you get from this game. Still better than Chaos Wars, for those who remember that at BOSS 2019. Oh, that was an experience, Chaos Wars. Anyway, Daiki is allowed to sleep over, which, you know, Tyson's not happy with that, but has one benefit. because Dyke is gonna do all the chores for us, and that means we get to sneak away and actually head to the BBA HQ without our uncle, you know, being like, let's go training again, right? But yeah, lots and lots of cutscenes. But if you think this is the end of it, hell no. Hell no, there's another set of textbox cutscenes at the BBA HQ. So, at this point, this is all kind of like happening, essentially just a tour of the anime at this point. This all actually happens. This song is broken. I don't know, there you go. So this also happens, again, this all happens in the anime. Tyson and Max show up at the BBA HQ and are like, yeah, there's only so many spots you can qualify in a country, bye. We're heading off to our own country. So, yeah. Obviously Tyson's mad, but, as a little bit of a fun thing, the World Championship, you can actually, later on, where there's a chance we fight Ray or Bax later on. It's kind of cool, like fighting against your like old friends. But yeah, now that we're finally at the end of cutscenes, it's time to explain what actually goes on the BBHQ, because BBHQ is not like parks where, you know, you just do one battle and then it's over. No, BBHQ is a best of threes. And the thing about best of three matches is that you actually keep whatever bit beast you have in a round into the next round. And this leads to a really interesting strategy. So this is gonna I'm just not gonna commentate what I'm gonna do here. And you can be confused for a little bit, and then I'll explain it, just to see how confused you all are. Just wait. So, why would I self-ring out on a match? That's because I now start with 2 bars of a bit beast. Because if I get 2 perfect launches and I keep the bit beast from round 1, I start round 2 with 2/3 of a bit beast. And obviously ringing yourselves out, that takes some time. We could, in exchange, we could also just throw the launch. Like essentially premature launch, but also immediately ends the fight. But it's faster to do your bit beast and ring yourself out. Like, you know, get the bit beast, ring yourself out, and then use your bit beast on round 2. It's not something that was in the original Outback House of the Heart. I just, like, as a fun fact, I found this out during a run. Like, I literally had this thought in the middle of a run. It's like, hey, hold up, could we do this? And yes, we can. And yes, it saves a lot of time. It saves so much time. So that's what we're gonna be doing through all the best of threes here. We're gonna be essentially ringing out on match 1. And then in match 2, we're gonna be using our essentially double strength bit beast. Well, not double strength, it's like double strength for your tier 1 bit from the first strength bit beast you can get. And then we can finish this fight as it. Oh, opponent got a perfect launch from pretty. Actually, no, she didn't. Because we should. Or you can save a million years by your opponent ringing ourselves out. There you go, first ever ring out during a marathon run of Beyblade Revolution. I also have to change my launcher. Remember the launcher and ripcord we bought at the start? Yeah, because the ones that Ray gave us are breaking now, so we need to change them out. But there we go. I can't actually believe it. We got an opponent ring out during a marathon run. That saves so much time. Alright, I tried to see if our opponent jumped there. If your opponent jumps on round 2, jackpot. Because first of all, like on the first attack, first of all, you're getting a bit beast from round 1 because of a ring out. But then, if your opponent rings himself out on the attack in round 2, you start round 3 out of 3 with a 3 out of 3 bit beast. Round 2 ring outs save you something like 3 to 4 minutes at BBA HQ. It's crazy. Yeah, this game wouldn't be at this marathon if it didn't have this RNG in regards to ring outs. Like, if it wasn't for ring outs, this game would actually be like super fun to run. Like, you know, there's a lot of like strategies when you wanna like use your combos and stuff like that. But you know, ring outs exist. So, you know, maybe someday we'll have like a ROM like hack or something without ring outs. That'd be cool. Because that would make this game much more fun. Like, at that point it would actually be like skill. But yeah, we're done with our... I lost the word where, yeah, second fight of the second best of 3. And we're starting off the round 3 with essentially a strength 2 bit base. I'm actually gonna play it safe. I don't actually know if we had a full bit. Alright, this should be full now. Play a little, you know, you can, like, I've done it before where I misjudged where the bar is, because, you know, with only so many pixels, you can misjudge where the bar is, and, you know, essentially waste, like, almost an entire third of the bar. And that's quite unfortunate. That's a lot of time lost. I should have used an all-left combo there, because I was... Opponent blade was to start there, but yeah, of course, they use their bit beast as well, but since we were so close to them, they essentially, like... Essentially, the moment your opponent uses their, essentially, the moment your opponent hits you with their bit beast while they're in the animation, it will start, you know, going into the actual like attack animation. But yeah, we're gonna be doing 4 more best of 3, so at this point it becomes a little bit repetitive. So at this point it's mostly just less RNG, hope for ring outs, especially in round 2. That's the biggest possible time save you can get. But that ring out on the first, I actually like don't know the names here because I have them on my splits and like I just know in what order I have to do them. I just don't know the names, so big XD right there. Anyway, I start off with the right because I can't actually move to the top via the right path. I have to move through the middle path essentially. So, well, I'm kind of debating if I should even ring. Yeah, I'm gonna ring out. Okay, yeah, that's... Oh, yeah, I'm kind of bad at these. I'm kind of surprised I got the auto one so fast. I'm kind of bad at these self-ring out. There we go. Has anyone made a task for this game? No, and I suspect the task for this game would be utterly ludicrously, like, forbidden memory still. Like, you better understand a lot about the game or you're not gonna realize what's going on, because a task for this game, properly RNG manipulated, would ring out every single opponent on the first frame. Like, on the first attack. Like, yeah, it wouldn't be entertaining to just consume if you've never seen the game before, but there's a similar, like, style of task for Forbidden Memories, by Generic Mad Scientist, where essentially, like, you manipulate, essentially, like, a very specific drop, and then kill all opponents with just RNG manipulation. From an outside perspective, it just looks like, wow, you're getting really lucky with your card draws and everything, and, like, because everything in that game is manipulatable. That's the word. But, the thing about the difference with Forbidden Memories in this game is that in Forbidden Memories you can actually do RNG manipulation as a human with timing setups and everything. This game we don't know anything. Feels bad. So this game is just, I mean, let's be real, a slight difference in like leaderboard amount of runs. So if you go to the leaderboard of this, yeah, it's me and Cards of the Heart. That's it. So if you wanna run this game, I get Cards of the Heart isn't really interested anymore, so I guess just ask me. Oh god, I just almost don't mash buttons there, because then I might premature launch the third one, and that's bad. Alright, this might be animation skill. Almost. Very close though. Let me up the music a little bit. I hope you guys like the musical layout I did, because I essentially used the 4x3 layout and used the black bars I have on the top and bottom that the Abyssok will give me to essentially slot in all the messages from Abyssok. And hold up, okay, yeah, you don't really get the opponent doesn't get vertical velocity if they land on you, unfortunately. But I still wait it out because for some reason I still believe that one day it'll happen when it doesn't. That's halfway done BBA HQ, and that was some really good movement. That was like the perfect movement you can get there. So 3 more best of 3s. It's not Miss V's, right? Oh, really? RNG it. I tried to time the ring out there for, to essentially do what I want to do to opponents. There we go. But even if you get it late like that, it still saves time. Don't get me wrong. Aw. It still saves so much time over, throwing the launch. Because, you essentially start off the match with, damage. You essentially, look how much damage that just did. We would have to do all that damage ourselves. And we've got time for that. We're speedrunners. We've got time for that. Also, I do apologize if you can hear the keyboard here, because this is a mechanical keyboard. I do have a noise suppression filter in OBS, so hopefully that makes it better. But man, what can you do? There is no amount of noise suppression filters that will save you from a mechanical keyboard. It's just fact of life. Nice. Alright, I might... Nah, I'm gonna wait. It's probably gonna overkill the opponent, but we're not into the 3,000-4,000 range of opponent health yet, so it's fine. So I'm gonna wait until I have 2/3 of a bit beast, and then use it and overkill our opponent here. Should be an all-out combo, easy all-out combo. But yeah, in case you have any questions, because right now it's just getting a little bit, we're just finishing off BB8. In case you have any questions, feel free to add me. I should be auto-completable in the chat since I do have the chat open, and if anyone wants to talk to me, just ask one of the staff members. I'm down to talk. Let's be real right here. This is graveyard shift. If any of the staff members want to talk, oh, I shouldn't be doing this when you can see this is the opponent is dead, but we have to wait for the RPM to count down for the displayed RPM. That's why we don't want to overkill. The real RPM hit 0 at the end of that bit beast, but we had to wait until the displayed RPM went to 0. Will we get a round 2 ring out? That would be great. Oh, fast ring out ourselves for battle 1. Let's see. Alright. Monker. Aww. Hey, maybe if we'll get a Bless RNG in the chat, it'll happen in the last specific, because that's our last chance to get a round 2 ring out. But probably not gonna happen. Let's be real. But you can see our bit beast at this point just does more and more and more damage, and at this point we're not even gonna wait for a tier 2 bit boost. We're actually gonna waste the bit boost we're building up right now when we start round 3. Because at this point we would be overkilling our opponent here so hard that we'd be losing time in the round 3. So the bar that I currently have in bit beast, that's bye-bye. Essentially wasted, but sometimes you gotta waste, or you lose a ton of time to that. Yes. Alright, let's do a count here. That's 2 free frame. That's 2 free frame tricks missed so far. And I think our opponent also got a perfect one. And yeah, you can see if you're like really close to an opponent when they start with base, it's not that big of a time loss, but it's still a time loss. I don't know what happened, but like I pressed up down A and it didn't register the combo, so I just started doing up down A like on a cycle just to get the combo through. Oh wait, not big beast yet, or did I just hit the? I must have just hit the wrong buttons. I must have just hit one button only. There we go. Yeah, I just hit one button only. But yeah, at this point, last fight of BBHQ. I know it's getting repetitive, but we're getting a scenery change soon. Don't worry, don't you worry. But between that, kind of like between like all the like major areas of the game, there's always cutscenes. So I mean, normally during cutscenes I say that's a tea break, but given that this is literally just finishing off the opponent, if you want to go, you know, you won't miss that much. You'll miss the Kai fight, because at the end we will be fighting Kai. Because at the start Kai was like, you know, giving us some moral advice. In the end he's gonna be like, you know, let's test what you learned. Actually get to fight Kai. It's an even more repetitive fight because Kai has a lot more. Anyway. Hello? Wait, what? Oh my god! Wow, I'm smart. Because of the, you know, of the longer fight in round 3, I somehow thought I was on the last best of 3 for some reason, and I just went straight outside. I don't know what I did there. I'm supposed to do this. I'm having some, Oh my god! Okay, this is getting to the point where it's getting a little bit embarrassing. I'm having some cognitive issues right now, let's be real. Off by 1 error? Yep, you got it. Literally an off by 1 error. Fun thing because I actually do, not professional, just hobbyist, do a little bit of programming. Like, it's not advanced stuff, it's just a little bit of Java, a little bit of Kotlin. So I do know off by 1 errors by heart. I really hope I'm not repeating a fight here. I've done that before where I've repeated a fight, like, in a, like, attempt. Like, offline, and like, you know, like, just minding my own business, and I'm like, hold on, didn't I fight this guy before? But yeah, this is, it's late hours, it's my restreaming session's put in, and I didn't really get that much sleep, so... Anyway, on the positive side, we are getting into Battle 3 with almost 2/3 of a bit base. Music's a bit loud again. So now this is a real, you know, final battle of BBA HQ, finally. Alright, let's see if I can instant beast here. Nice, cool. I've never actually gotten an instant beast and an animation skip because obviously, like, you're close to the opponent's blade, which is kind of like, you know, a not. What's the opposite word for requirement? I don't know. I'm German. My English. It's interesting because, like, people tell me my accent isn't that bad, but my vocabulary is having some issues recently. Like, I miss words and, like, probably has something to do with me doing like 12-hour restreaming sessions, but who knows? Who knows? Anyway, we're actually done with BBH, you know. So let's try to head out, but you know, Kai's gonna make you've done well. Let's see how you fare against a true Beyblader. you know. Anyways, Kai got a ton of HP, but this is the same, it's a best of 3 again. He's got so much HP. If you want to go on a toilet break, now's probably the best time, because there's gonna... Oh, my God. Or you can watch me fail ring outs for like 3 minutes. Nah, Kappa. Done it. Or, you know, almost perfect launches. But yeah, you can see Kai's got a lot of HP, but since we have a lot of like levels at this point, we do so much more damage. All Bit Beast is leveled up. While Kai has more health than Ray, it's an easier fight than Ray. But in theory, you can lose it if Kai gets perfect launches. There's a tiny chance that you can actually lose fights. And obviously, because I'm ringing myself out on one of these fights, I can't lose. If I lose one of these like 2 remaining fights, it's just bye-bye. Like, I might as well just throw my blade on round 3, because, you know, I've lost 2 already. And open up the spreadsheet and see how I get my parts back. But yeah, more this hoping for ring out. Again, every attack is kind of like a chance for your opponent to just randomly jump, so the RNG in this game is kind of hidden. Dependency? Nah, it's not that word. It's... I don't know. The opposite of a requirement. We all know what we mean. Ooh, nice combo there. Yeah, if you actually get... If you get a hit pass on fire, the game actually just says hit. Like, it doesn't know what to display anymore, it just says hit. It's just extra hits at that point. I think the most amount of extra hits I've ever gotten is 5 from an R left combo. Usually you get like 1 or 2 extra, but sometimes you get really lucky. But yeah, you can see Kai has so much health. Like, we've used... Essentially, at this point, 3 out of 3 bars against him, 2 out of 3 bars at the start, and now another 1 out of 3 bars in the, like, right now from building it up. And obviously he has Bit Beast too, so we'll wait for that. Now, one thing about Bit Beast is that it actually doesn't matter if you do attack, it will build up on any blade contact. There are some very rare instances in the World Championship preliminaries and the actual World Championship itself. Actually, no, not in the World Championship, but in the preliminaries, where it might be beneficial for me when my opponent is... It's bad. Not really good at perfect launches today. That's 4 missed. And remember, every single one of this is like 3 to... can be like up to a minute. Yeah, it's not looking good, but my estimate... I'm just gonna be straight all honest, my estimate has a death factored in somewhere. Like, my estimate has factored in that I might die a ray, like, I might forget the safety save, for example, or something. Just stupid stuff. So, if everything goes to plan, as of now, with the 4 missed starts, and like assuming I'm probably gonna miss a few more, because obviously we're probably looking like a 223, 224 current pacing, so nowhere near PB. PB is probably dead unless some really crazy stuff happens in regards to ring outs. But, you know, when has that ever happened before this marathon? Oh, wait. Oh, that's a really risky all left comp. Yeah, that's what happens. You just get 2 hits, that's it. Bye-bye. That's an easy, making up for it. There you go. 1 extra hit there. And our opponent dodging us with an attack. Hashtag never seen before. Risky, because that's from the side. Worked out well. I tried to time it to get an extra free hit on the Bit Beast there. Fortunately missed it by a few frames there. But yeah, I waited to use my Bit Beast there because if I chain them together, essentially I don't have, like, if I don't get an animation skip, then it's easier for me to just, you know, chain them together like this, wait until I have 2 bars. Because the display RPM will catch up to Kai's true RPM by the time I'm done with him, so... When that's the case, you usually want to bunch them up, but if you're at risk of overkill, then it's a very good idea to use it prematurely, like use it, you know, in 1 out of 3 steps. Because overkilling your opponent, first of all, you're missing damage, right? First of all, you're literally throwing away 3 damage. Especially in the best of 3, where you could use that damage in the next round. Kai using a 2 out of 3 bit base against us, we should survive this easily. Yeah. Obviously, yeah, it's a little bit, like, you could say this is a bit Monker's territory, but, you know, he doesn't have any bit base left now. We usually get our attacks off, like, there's no way we lose this. Unless, again, I press, for whatever reason, I press L while I have control over the blade near the edge of the ring. And... yeah. Done that before. Let's not talk about that. Anyway, bit base available. Finish off Kai. And we're done with BBA HQ. So, after BBA HQ, we'll be heading to the swimming pool. We're back in the swimming pool, and yes, we're gonna be Beyblading in a swimming pool, believe it or not. We're back for best of 1s. So, no more, like, winging out, you know, starts for a little bit. It's gonna come back later, but, yeah, we're gonna go for the swimming pool first. Obviously, you know, Kai being like, you know, I let you win. Fun fact, that's actually a quote in another game I run, like in Need for Speed Carbon. When you beat Wolf, like when you beat Wolf in the canyon duel, Wolf was like, I let you win. Like, if there's any, you know, people from the Need for Speed community here, which I doubt, given that I literally didn't tell anyone about this, and not even about this marathon. So. Anyway, we're gonna head back, we're gonna pick up, you know, our swimsuit. So we're heading back home. And in absolute true strictest uncle fashion, we don't even get to, you know, go inside, he just grabs it for us, you know. Obviously, also get a bad mouth Daiki, because F Daiki, Kappa. Oh yeah, we're gonna be turning around on that opinion later, trust me. Anyway, literally like no like handover animation, it's just here you go, that's it, it gets added to your inventory, that's it, bye bye. Anyway, let's head to the swimming pool. But obviously we live in a modern world, you gotta pay for stuff. So you you literally cannot enter if you if you don't, you know, pay for it. Like the door will essentially, like it will appear as if the door is locked. So, and doors are hard. And let's hope I get this. Alright. If I press right too late there, then the guard's gonna be like, hey, you can't enter in your gloves, and yeah. Anyway, all these, you know, people that I just skipped past, we're not Beybladers, this is the first blader. We're gonna be going essentially clockwise around the swimming pool, fighting all the bladers in here. And that will unlock our, that will essentially unlock the BBA preliminaries, where lore-wise we get to find out. Nice, we're gonna mission skill. Lore-wise we get to find out if our essentially lore-wise. Sorry, my brain is just having issues. Lore-wise, you get to find out if you actually make it to the championship. Also, another interesting thing is that your opponent's sprites are actually different in the swimming pool, but your sprite is the same, like, or close to the same, so yeah. XD. A little bit. I'm not gonna bath them off, it's a great game, but could have put in a sprite, like, let's be real. But here's the fun fact, I don't even know who to blame, there's so many people listed on the start screen. I literally do not know who developed this game. Like, I think it's Full Fat Studios. I think it is, because I just from memory looking it up somewhere, but it might be any of the other things in the at the start of the run. anyway. We'll finish up our opponent with another bit beast here. And again, we split them up because if we use them up at 2 out of 2, we would essentially have our opponent's health at this point when we finish the bit beast would be like 1,200, and we essentially have to wait for like 20 seconds for that to count down. So it's better, you know, to eat the bit beast animation and just like an additional time and just split it up in 2. Because I'd rather lose 10 seconds than 20 seconds. No ring out, feels bad. And no enemy, instant either. And no, man, just feels bad. Not getting any bit beast with little tricks, but what can you do? Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. These two are pretty much skill based, like bit beast related tricks, like the instant bit beast you can do like this. I'm not gonna spam that because if I don't have a bit beast, because if I do, I might jump, and yeah, you don't want to jump if you don't want to. But oh, come on, couldn't they have jumped like 2 frames later? Feels bad. But yeah, if you activate bit beast, L and R on the frame you gain control, then you skip the SAT. Because right now, like if I had bit beast, there's like this 2 or 3 second delay or something after an attack where I wouldn't be able to use it. But you know, there's a 1 frame window we can actually trigger it after an attack ends. And that plus the animation skip, because you can position your blade, are pretty much skill based, but ring outs. Let's hope our opponent doesn't use Verbit this here, because we can use ours. Bye bye. This place is getting a little bit repetitive, but the thing is, I have another playlist. The problem is that would that wouldn't be appropriate because that's Eurobeat. And I don't think you guys want to listen to Eurobeat. And B, it might mute it more. So, it's not too bad. Anyway, more fights in this swimming pool. And I don't, you know, I skip is asleep right now, so like, you know, I can't ask him if I could switch to that. And B, like, I wouldn't want the bot muted anyway, so. Like, who wants their marathon bot to have muted audio, like, imagine. Watch some of this, like, playlist be copyrighted in some way, and this is gonna sound, like, really funny. Like, someone watching this back and be, like, you know, talking about, like, wow, imagine this bot being muted, and then, you know, it actually has some muted parts, actually. And before this actual part gets muted, imagine. But yeah, you can see we're leveling up so fast that our health is like... Okay! That works! Could have gone earlier, but I will gladly take that. I will very gladly take that. 2 ring outs in a run, that's already on the rare side of things, so that's great. So that's a... I don't think PB pays because I've missed 4 perfect starts, but who knows, who knows. Who knows. We'll see. I mean, I also lost some time to safety saving to max, but that's only like 10 seconds, so who knows. We'll have to see at the end. This is a really risky R-left combo, but it worked out, kinda. Oh, really? I was trying to move away once I realized they were defending and I couldn't attack, but... Not enough, got reversed. Unfortunately, I can't really control where the opponent goes. Like, I could obviously bounce the opponent around, but like, you never really know where they go from that point on, and you know, it's really hard to control that, so... Opponent's self ring outs Like, you know, them jumping without an attack are super rare. Like, it's more common for the opponent to jump on the perimeter attacking, or when you're attacking, and then ringing out like that. Which makes it even more so crazy, but I got 2 ring outs, like by the opponent just jumping on their own near the edge without me, you know, connecting. Anyway, let's hope they don't use their bit. I think they should be dead now. Yeah, they're dead. Might have overshot by a little bit, but better safe than sorry. Oh, we actually got like a little bit of a like glitch here. You can actually like sometimes you will spawn somewhere else on the map, and like that position is pretty much random. Like essentially, it's pretty much wherever the game can put you. Like it could have put us all the way at the start, like at the say the like left edge, bottom left edge of the room, and where we've lost us so much time. But it was close to where we would have originally spawned, so we also don't know why that happens. And I don't think there's anything any like time we could save with that. But who knows? Maybe sometime we'll find something out of bounds or something that actually like saves time. Would be cool. But it looks like our opponent actually got a perfect launch here because they did start with a bar of Beyblades full, which also means they start with like additional health. Normally they would start with like 3,000 health, they got 4,500, so this fight's gonna be a little bit longer. So, well, we did get 2 ring outs, we did lose, essentially we did lose all that time, and you know, opponents getting perfect launches, and well, me losing, me not getting perfect, me not doing perfect launches. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the spinning top action. We're gonna have like an hour more, roughly. I should really like start to like ask for my runs to. Well, okay, it would have required a schedule change, but I should really like. One thing I've noticed is that when my runs are at the end of restream blocks, I always like have like issues commentating because I'm so tired from, you know, setting things up and like just general like restreaming stuff. But like by the end, when I come to my run, I'm just dead. So I'll probably factor that in when it comes down to completely fun. I mean, while we're here, there's pretty much nothing to talk, because there's gonna be way more cutscenes at the end here too while we're going through the preliminaries for the World Championship. Some other marathon stuff I do, because we're gonna be, there's some other like marathon runs that are coming up from. Oh wow, they really used their like last shiver of Beyblades as they have like 40 RPM left. Because I have one upcoming marathon run at this point, like confirmed, which is gonna be at Value Fun. And that's gonna be Need for Speed Carbon. Also, Daiki, obviously, always cutscenes. So I'm gonna be running Need for Speed Carbon at Value Fun, and probably, I don't know yet, also at Completely Fun, which is a marathon that still has submissions up. So I'll probably be posting all these like Discord links at the end of the run. Completely Fun is a marathon based, like sort of like how this marathon's theme is, you know, roguelikes or high RNG games. Is Completely Fun by the name implies, you know, 100% speedruns. But anyway, back to the game. So guard, you know, is like, you know, breaks up the fight. Is like, you know, no Beyblading here. And it's like stupid rule anyway, and you know. Guard wants the Beyblade for us because, you know, video game logic, whatever. I don't think this is actually in the anime, if I remember right, but the last time I watched that was when I was a kid. Okay. Yeah. That's number 5, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, last time I watched the anime was as a kid, because I tried to rewatch it because, like, you know, I started running this game. I was like, you know, maybe I should catch up on the lore. I made it like 40 minutes into the anime, like It's not something I enjoy watching. I'm not a big fan of, like, I don't watch anime. Like, I'm not a weeb. Feels bad. I say feels bad because I don't know why, but I have a tons of friends that like watch a ton of anime, and like sometimes they're like, you want to watch together everything. I'm like, I don't enjoy that. Like, I run games based off animes, I guess. Close enough, right? Anyway, now that I remember, Pool Guard happens to be actually one of the fights, but doesn't lose that much time if you miss the Bit Beast. And I should probably explain why. Because one Bit Beast, essentially the damage you do in regular combos that you do while you're building up one bar of a Bit Beast is, rule of thumb, roughly equivalent to the damage you're gonna be doing in the Bit Beast. So what this means is that opponent healths, depending on the damage you do, are essentially in cycles. Like say, we do 600 damage for a Bit Beast currently, that means building up a Bit Beast, we're gonna do 600 more damage. So say our opponent has 1200 health. If we get the perfect launch, we would have to like say 600 damage Bit Beast, 600 damage, building up a Bit Beast, our opponent has 1200 health. If we get the perfect launch, then we'll essentially use that Bit Beast and then combo them down. However, if we miss the perfect launch, then it would essentially be, you know, we do it the other way around. We wouldn't lose much time. So if these essentially if the opponent health divided by the amount of, you know, damage you do with a Bit Beast is an even number, you're not gonna lose that much time. Oh my god, I was missing doors left and right. Also, don't pick that apple up, it's completely, you know, doesn't matter, it's just strength, we don't need strength. Anyway, there's no cutscene like at the end of the swimming pool, you can just head over to the BBA preliminaries and you're just done. So, Kenny, a little bit lore, catch up, a little bit of a potty break here. There's a lot, again, this is kind of like a free project game, where, you know, Kenny has his announcement and then we head inside, and then just lots and lots of things heading, you know, introducing the preliminaries. So if you want to go to the bathroom, gotta grab a drink or anything, then now's the time. We're gonna register for the. I'll catch you up on the lore a little bit later, if that would interest you. So Daiki obviously also wants to register because Daiki could never lose. Still wants a rematch, by the way. I'm so gonna beat you. Yeah. Tyson going a little bit ham there. Like, treat people with respect, my dude. Anyway, June of the Gale showing up again, because you know the guy who showed up in Arc. The like moral like encouragement behind a face mask. You're in big trouble, your team's falling apart. No, what will we do? Win the World Championship, that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, this is just cutscenes upon cutscenes, so since I did send potentially people on a bathroom break, I won't explain too much about the format of the World Championship yet. But yep, definitely should have asked Roman to remove. I'm getting tired. You know, it might be a reason because I've been drinking the iced tea instead of my energy drink mix. That might be a reason. Anyway, fun line here: dressing room shouldn't boys and girls dress separately. You don't need to change clothes to Beyblade. Kind of fun line there. Anyway, we can't head off into the arena immediately because there's this like brick fight trigger you have to go. You have to like sort of like go into like the crowd stands and, you know, get teased by Jin of the Gale, and then you can head back into the room And then obviously more text box cutscenes, because why not? Because why not? So in the middle, you know, text box cutscene explanations. There's 2 blocks, essentially like 2 brackets. These graphic glitches are really getting on my nerve, by the way. Like, I don't know why that's happening. I'll try to fix them if I run this again. But essentially there's 2 blocks of 16 participants, and the winners of each block actually get to participate in the championship as a tag team. Remember that, because it's gonna be kind of... Oh my god, look at that! What the hell? Alright, graphics, please. I don't know what's going on, but... Anyway, Tyson says here that we know Andy because we're supposed to meet Andy in another park, in the sports park, which we skipped with routing. We essentially just... The entire point of the routing is that we skip that entire park. We don't have to do that. Anyway. We're back to best of 3s, so back to ring out strats. So if you haven't seen those, then in the BBA HQ earlier, because these are best of 3s, you keep your bit beast into the next round, which means if I essentially start the round with a perfect launch, and then ring myself out on round 2, then I will essentially start round 2. I mean, ring myself out on round 1, sorry. My brain is just mush at this point. Ring myself out on round 1, then I start round 2 with 2 out of 3 bars of bit beast instead of 1 out of 3. Which, obviously, that's a lot of extra damage. That's a lot of damage. And, it's faster than, pretty much launching. But at this point, you really start to notice the high RPMs. Like, this is the point where overkilling really loses you a lot of time. Like, we're getting to the range where opponents can have, like, with perfect launches, like 6,000 health. It's not cool. But it doesn't really matter. Like, there's actually a different, like, you might be thinking, couldn't we, like, reduce the endurance? Because, as Max explained to us early at the start of the game, couldn't you, like, reduce your, like, there's 3 main stats. There's attack, defense, and endurance. Like, couldn't we, like, reduce our endurance to essentially reduce our opponent health as well? And the answer to that is no, because it's based on the level you have. Anyway, I have a bit beast available here, but I'm not going to use it because I essentially I can combo Andy down here myself, and I'd essentially just be throwing it away for the next round. So I'm gonna save it for round 2. I mean round 3, because we're round 2 of fighting. Because round 1 is just ringing ourselves out. And hopefully I don't miss this. That was first frame. Andy Monkerest. I'm kind of no. I was debating if we should go to 3 out of 3, but that would have had a really high chance of overkilling Andy, so I just want to. Yeah, that would have definitely overkilled Andy. So I will gladly. Oh no! I forgot to repair my blade. I just realized that. I should be fine. Hopefully. If I'm not and my blade breaks during the second, because I don't have a break in here. Oh no. You're supposed to repair your blade after BBA HQ. I have no idea how the blade survived until now. I just forgot about it. Oh my god, Andy, please do not use your bit beast. If Andy uses his bit beast, that's a lot of like damage on the blade. Holy sh! I just straight up forgot about that. Andy, no, don't use your bit beast. I'm better at than, because normal attacks don't really do damage. It's only like bit beast that does damage for some reason. Okay. I just have to hope that Sour, I actually remember that name, our next opponent, is not gonna use her bit beast too much, and then I'm repairing that blade straight away. Holy crap. Alright. I'm actually gonna eat the time loss. I'm gonna see if I can repair the blade. Oh my god, these graphics are so messed up. What the hell is going on? Look at this. What the hell? Look at the top. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm gonna eat the time loss and see if I can repair. No, I can. No, I can't. I will gladly repair my blade right there. Thank you. I didn't actually know that you can repair from that menu. Fun fact, that's actually a time save. I literally just found a time save. because going into the menu is you have to get the menu up and go to the workshop. The workshop's right there. Cool. I just found a time save mid-marathon run. Great. From just, you know, checking it. That's great. That's just great. Welcome to Beyblade Revolution, where you find time saves in the middle of a run. I mean, it's not much, it's like a second or two at most, but hey, that's a second or two saved off the run. I probably shouldn't have used an R-left combo there, given the angle I had. Let me lower that volume a little bit. Oh, if you could have jumped, like, you know, out of the ring, that would be great. But yeah, Sarah's about to be dead. Come on, Sarah. Oh man, she dodging me. But since this is essentially a repeat of the BBA HQ at this point, it doesn't, like, there isn't, like, too much commentary left, but it's gonna get very interesting point-wise for the World Championship, believe me for that, because the World Championship has a per-round point system, while including best of threes. So essentially there's best of threes, but every single round gives you points overall. So it's gonna be interesting. And we're gonna be abusing ring outs for that. And there's also gonna be a huge game, like... Alright, I'm just gonna call it... This was a no glitches allowed because Slower and the game cuts team decided that it wouldn't, like, it's borderline, but it isn't, like, they said technically it's an oversight. Chad disagreed. I actually made a straw poll during that run. Later on we're gonna be doing a very much our, like, skipping, like, glitch that essentially involves flying. Let's just say we're gonna go on a little bit of sightseeing trip, so let's keep it at that. We're essentially gonna fly from New York to New York. It's gonna be interesting. But at this point, it's just fighting, hoping for ring outs. And hoping the opponent doesn't get too much attacks off. Maybe, like, preferably what you want is the opponent holding their attack. Because if they hold their defense, obviously at this point we can break through the defense. But that will reduce our damage through it. So preferably we just want them, you know, either not doing anything at all, or just, you know, holding their attack. Or, you know, rushing us and we rush them and we just win and we get the full attack because when two blades are attacking each other, it just the full attack of the blade with more attack goes through, but without, like, reduction of the defense. It's kind of, yeah, like in I guess it's kind of like in card games if, like, two monsters are attacking each other, like in Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, lots and lots more cutscenes. Kenny is obviously also in this tournament. Also more graphical glitches. I have no idea what's causing that. I'd really like to know what's causing that. I can't believe I won. So Daiki is through as well, gonna be facing off Kai. And we're gonna have two more battles. Except this time we're not gonna have them back to back. We're gonna have another cutscene in the middle of them. Because why not? Also, this is not the cutscene I was talking about. We're gonna have a cutscene after this round. What a weirdo. Yeah, I mean... If some dude with a face mask shows up and gives you moral advice, I'd be concerned too. Anyway, we finally get our rematch against Skull. Remember Skull getting gagged? Remember how you like screw off? Like, I'm not fighting you? Yeah. And we're gonna beat him up, of course. At this point, not losing fights. Oh, what? My input didn't go through. I call BS. I call BS. I'm like pretty sure I pressed left there. Pretty sure, but who knows? Anyway, same thing applies, by the way, for BBHQ. If I ring out on round 2, that's an easy, like, 4-minute time, like 3 to 4 minutes. But I have a feeling we've exhausted all of our good RNG with the, I believe, 3 ring outs we had, or was it 2? I already lost count. Correct me. So yeah, at this point it's just mowing down opponents. At this point it just becomes mowing down in Simulator 2019, just smashing attack, getting your combos through, hoping that the opponent jumps. So I do apologize for the repetitiveness at this point. But I guess in a way the RNG in this game is kind of like very hidden. Like, from just looking at it you wouldn't notice. Like that this game is like super RNG. But then again it's just those damn ring outs. It's actually gonna use the bit beast here. On risk of potentially overkilling. Because I don't think we do. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that's an overkill. I'm just gonna not do anything and see if Skull does anything. Oh, Skull is doing things, so he's not technically dead yet. So I'm just gonna wait. Oh! So, if I know, that's another like micro-optimization, if I know that an opponent is dead, I don't want to attack them. Because when your blade connects, there's like this little like freeze of like 1 or 2 seconds. Like, I didn't time it. Oh! Oh, there goes more time. There's this little, like, delay where essentially the RPM freezes. Oh, couldn't you have ringed yourself out there? I'm getting teased again. And the RPM freezes and stops counting down, and since the fight ends when the RPM counts down to 0 in the display, don't attack when you know your opponent is actually on 0, like true RPM. Anyway. So Skull is probably getting a 2 or 3 bit beast on us, can't really prevent that at this point. So we're just gonna hope that he's at like say like 2.5 bars. 2.5 out of 3 bars. So he wastes it in a nutshell. I think he actually wants... No, he doesn't. Okay, so you can actually tell if opponents want to use their bit beast if they don't do any actions. Like, if I stop, you know, you can see like every time I, like, attack, usually you see the opponent off, he got it off instantly. Usually you see the opponent off, like, do like a little, like, you know, like, defend or attack, like a little, like, defend or attack animation. And you can usually see that before the attack even goes through, like, after I attack, because, you know, at the end of a bit beast, it's essentially free fall for who gets the fastest attack. Not right now, for some reason now my thing is jinxing me. There, you saw that, like the little like blue fade you saw there for a few frames, which was the opponent defending. And if they don't do that when you're mashing attack, then high chance they want to, like the AI wants to use their bit beast in the next few turns. So mash A. I probably should have used my bit beast when it was on 1-1, now that I realized that this is probably going to be a horrific overkill, whoops. I kind of forgot about that. Well, great demonstration of overkill, I guess. So I'm gonna be easily doing 1,800 damage here. But I have... yeah, that was my mistake. But now I just have to wait for like 20 seconds or so for the RPM to actually count down. There's nothing to do with it. Since this is round 3, this thing is even more... like, normally if this was round 2, I would be doing this to build up my bit beast, because as I said earlier, your bit beast builds up from contact. So this actually builds up a bit beast. But since this is round 3, it's just practice for if I might need it later. Might need to do it later. Music's a bit quiet, let me up that. Alright, and as I said, a little bit of a cutscene before we get onto our last fight in our blocks finals. So, lore catch up again. Remember, there's 2 blocks, with block A and block B, and you know, the winners of both of the blocks are gonna be going through the to the World Championship as a tag team. Also, you know, Fan comes in backstage. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Checking out our blade, what could go wrong? Kotaru. Anyway, so I wonder what Kotaru is gonna be fighting on. You know, that Fan which just came in. Yeah, bye, Kenny. Spoilers. Like 2 seconds ahead spoilers. So yeah, in the like actual anime, I know this because I, you know, skipped ahead to that specific part. They go into it a little bit more deeper. Kotaru apparently has like a PC that he can like read the data out or something. So we're gonna be fighting Kotaru, and again, the actual like opponents get harder throughout the also these graphical glitches, dude, throughout the preliminaries, but it doesn't matter. We have so much levels at this point from just winning all the fights. So at this point, there's no danger of losing at all. The only danger is me losing time to, well, the opponent instantly attacking and jumping too early. I could have gotten that ring out. Oh, I guess not. That should be it though. There we go. Easy peasy. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I only pressed R instead of R, instead of L and R. Oh, this song's chill. Anyway, for those who might have not seen the start, I would just like to quickly repeat now that we're, you know, like 1 hour 45 in, because there might be like a bunch of people that haven't seen the start of this. I am playing external music because this game's music is like, you know, people say when something is, you know, when something looks horrible, it's an eyesore. Yeah, this game's OST is an ear-sore. Let's keep it at that. Like, it's so bad I sent Skip one of the tracks, like, from, you know, the OST in YouTube. And don't blame YouTube, it's actually how it is in the game, right? Like, it's actually like a game rip. And Skip was like, yeah, play external OST. So that's why in the top right of the, you know, game, there's like, you know, I put on the OST playing right now. And the song's really quiet. Kotaru, you could have turned yourself down there. That's too loud. Oops. I have the buttons for me to lower and higher the volumes happen to be on the numpad, which is also where my A and B buttons are. Like, essentially for up, down, left, right, I'm using WAXD. Oh, I should probably also get into more about that, why that is. But essentially left are, you know, the usual like WASD, except I use X for S. And then Q and E for L and R. Enter for start, and that's pretty much it on my setup, on my key binding setup. Well, and numpad 7 and numpad 8 for B and A. That's my keybind setup. So my volume keys are numpad plus and numpad plus and numpad minus. So it's really easy for me to change the music volume if, like, you know, the track goes loud again. round 3 to 3, I pretty much start with him. You know what? I'm actually gonna go for a 3 to 3 bit beast. At risk of overkilling, but who knows? Because this might actually overkill the opponent. But even if it does, I kind of want to get a 3 out of 3 bit base before the World Championship. Because during the World Championship, you're going to be seeing a lot of 3 out of 3 bit base. And I said something about point system, and you know, you keep your bit base. So, foreshadowing. Yeah, this might definitely overkill hard. Oh no. I still have to calm him down a little bit, so it's fine. Oh, imagine me jumped there. Like, we're still doing a time save, but you know, couldn't have done that earlier. Like, say, on route 2. Oh. At the start. So, at this point, his sprite is essentially blocking like the lower bars of the RPM meter. That happens with some sprites. The most noticeable is, I didn't call that out, but the most noticeable sprite is the pole guard, where like essentially like the last like 5 bars are blocked. And Gotaro's not doing any action, so he is done for. True RPM is now 0, we just have to wait for the displayed RPM to go down to 0. And there's no reason for me to be doing this. I just like showing off what you could do. Say if this was an overkill round 2. You just saw the bit base meter go up. And that's the preliminaries. So we're now officially in the World Championship. But as it is with, you know, transitions between big events with this game, cutscenes. There's like cutscenes. So, obviously, we still have the Block B finals. We're in Block A, we still have Block B finals where Daiki and Kai are going to be facing off. And now, here's the thing, Block A and Block B winners go together as a tag team. So just remember that, Jin of the Girl showing up again, you know, don't pretend to be happy for me. So this is where it gets a little bit funny. So Daiki is gonna be like, you know, you respect gets the Block B finals and Mita gets battle. You completely missing the point. This actually happens in the anime too, I believe. Like literally completely misses the point. Like you win here, you gotta go with Tyson together, you know, XD. Why did the competitors keep on running off anyways? You know, leaving your mic on, I can't say I haven't done that before in OBS. So this is just a narration of the fight, but I didn't even bother to like in-game render like what actually happens in the arena. Like, you know, like kind of like a in-game rendered cutscene. They just literally just put some text boxes and that's it. I mean, it's a GBA game. I'm guessing the text, bro. I'm guessing the text is probably like 50% of this cartridge. But you know, how it is with any, you know, last-second changes. Obviously, we're gonna have more main plot. You know, you give him the heartbreak, and then give him, you know, because anime. Give them the, give them back. So, Kotaro shows up, Kotaro's like, hey, wait a second, I'm the runner from Block A, shouldn't I be there? And then, you know, plot armor, mighty, you don't have the skills to compete at this. Like, great. It is entirely... I'm kind of like, imagine if this was like one generation later, had voice acting, this might have became like the Chaos Wars. Because if you've ever heard of Chaos Wars, it has like the worst voice acting. Also, reveal for Jin of the game, it's Tyson's little brother. In the anime, this is way more emotional, so XD. Who cares about anime, XD. So, World Championship. So, I'm gonna be ignoring what happens in these cutscenes. We're essentially just gonna be flying to New York at this point. They're gonna tell us what teams went to the World Championship. Kai's gonna wander off also. Kai's not gonna be part of the team. He's essentially gonna drop out. Hopefully that doesn't happen to any other... hopefully that doesn't... Hopefully people of this marathon don't drop out, because so far we haven't had a runner drop out. But anyway, World Championship, because, as I said, there's a point system. So, if you win a round by KO, essentially every world we're gonna be visiting 2 cities. Every city is gonna have 4 opponents, and against every opponent you're gonna be like 4 matches, essentially 4 matches, and every match is gonna have 3 rounds. If you KO in a round, you're gonna get 3 points, whoever wins that round. But if you ring out, whoever wins that round is only gonna get 2 points. So you might be already like thinking, oh wait a second, we can self-ring ourselves out and get Bitbeast that way. And yes, that's exactly what we're gonna be doing. So, there's essentially 12 individual rounds, split into 4 best of 3s. So what we're gonna be doing... Oh, I went the wrong way, that's great. What we're gonna be doing is, on the first match with 3 rounds, we are going to be essentially doing what we've been doing with BBA HQ, where we bring ourselves out once, and then win the next 2, in a nutshell, win the next 2. And because we essentially that way we lose 2 points from a KO, but we... from a ring out, from a ring out. We lose 2 points from a KO. I'm bad at explaining things, by the way. I'm also bad at math. We lose 2 points from a KO, but we do win 2 matches. So we get 6 points from that, so we're gonna be ahead by 4 points. For all the other best of 3s, we're gonna be self-ringing ourselves out twice and then win the final match. That's gonna lose us 4 points and win 3. So we're gonna start off by winning 4 points in the first best of 3, and then lose 1 point for the other best of 3s and win the city with 1 point lead remaining. It's a little bit bonkers. We also picked Kenny and Daiki because at this point Tyson has so much RPM that overkilling would actually like literally lose us more time. So yeah, we at this point we're forced to use Daiki and Kenny. So we're gonna be doing the exact same strats as BBA HQ for the first best. So we're gonna be doing round 3 as a KO as well. And again, -2 plus 3, that's 1, plus 3, that's 4, quick maths. And then lose 1 point per best of 3 for the 3 remaining best of 3s. It's a little bit hard to explain, and then we win this city with 1 single point remaining. And that's the fastest track to do the World Championship. Now the cool thing about this is this makes the actual like events of the World Championship way like so fast, because essentially we're gonna be like, once we get the first best of 3 done, where we essentially have to KO twice, we're going to be starting the like other KOs with the other best of 3s in the city, for example. We're going to be starting those with, you know, 2 ring outs, and then a 3 out of 3 Bitbeast, assuming I get them perfectly, of course. You know, if there's a run to explain how bad I am at perfect launches, this one would be it. But essentially, the other fights are gonna, like the other best of 3s are gonna be over super quick, so. And then we're essentially gonna repeat New York again, but you know, more on that later. Also, because ring outs give us 1 less point than chaos, at this point we're no longer hoping for opponent ring outs. While it would be fast to end the fight, it would essentially, because we would only gain 1 additional point, it would, 1 point less, I mean, we would gain 1 point less, it would tie us at the end with our current, you know, point thing. And video game logic, if you tie, you lose. You would have to do the entire city event all over again. The alternative, obviously, would be ringing out more, but since we can't, you know, predict ring outs, we're just gonna not take them at this point anymore. If we could, then, you know, a task for this would just ring out all the opponents. Actually, a task for this would probably do... let me get this, because there's 12... 7 times, so it's 14... 5, 15... so it has to be 8... A task for this would do 8 ring outs, giving, like, essentially instant ring outs. Giving us, giving 16 points, and then premature launch, because premature launch counts as KO for the point system, the other 4 rounds of the city. Losing 12 points, winning by 4 points. That's what a task would do. I should probably use this with base. Oh god. And from this point on, the remaining best of 3s will be super quick, because we're essentially just gonna be going in, ringing ourselves out twice, and then winning the third round with a 3 out of 3 bit base. So... oh yeah, also, I literally forgot you have to move down to actually start the next fight. Not in the second city. But it's gonna get interesting. This game actually got accepted. These graphic glitches are just on a weird like setup. I don't know why these happening, but like what we're gonna be doing later is way more broken. Anyway, let's hope I get these perfect launches. These are gonna be really important. Alright, that's a perfect launch and a really quick ring out to start. Oh, two times. Let's go. Oh, that was butter smooth. Alright, let's go. Oh, 3 frame perfect. Let's go. And now at this point, we just use our 3 out of 3 bit base. I'm actually gonna, just to be sure, I'm gonna, while this is going on, I'm just gonna quickly like reload, like readjust my windows and everything. This does take a little while, so not much I can do doing here. Okay, cool. Way down here. So now we just combo the opponent down. What shiver of health they have remaining. And that's gonna be essentially all the best of 3s. Also just note, actually no. I thought my mic was quiet, but it wasn't, it was just me, oh god, hiccups. I don't know if you've been hearing, but I've been trying to suppress these hiccups for like the last 15 minutes. Don't you dare! Yeah, we don't want our opponents ringing out at this point. That's super bad. Like, at that point, we would essentially have to do an entire KO more if they ring out. Say they ring themselves out at the end of a match here, that would actually cost us an entire match that would have to do normal BBA H2 style. Oh, this banger. I gotta lower the music though, because as much of a banger this is, forgot to mash for some reason. This song is really loud. Let's not forget to move down this time. So, third best of 3, this one and then one more, and then we're done with New York 1. As if you're interested in, I actually like have splits for this when I run this for PB attempts, but to be honest, that's been a while. So this would essentially like split by sort of be New York 1-3 because it's the third best of 3 in New York 1, and then when we do New York again, it would be New York 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. You get the idea. Right, good perfect launches. Maybe that's how we'll save time on my PB. I don't know. Oh, actually, Alright, so I should probably mention that due to how I set up the emulator capture, this would actually be, I wouldn't need a movie re-encode. I could immediately just dump it on the leaderboards because this has the input display, this has the status bar, this has everything. So if this PB is I don't think so. We're probably gonna miss it. Or if I do PB, it's gonna be a fake PB. It's gonna be like a 216 or something. But as I said, I have a 215 movie file, but I still need to encode low 215. Alright, opponent should be dead here. Cool. So now we just wait and finish up our fourth. But yeah, at this point, the RNG part is pretty much over. At this point, it's just... I forgot to mash. Also, this point counter on the, like... You know, there's 2 point counters. The first point counter is how many points you, got, like, in the text box. How many points you got in that round. But that point counter is actually inaccurate. I don't know why. It's just off. Only a second point counter by how much you're leading totally is accurate. So we're currently leading by 2 points. We're going to be losing 1 more point over the course of these best of 3s. So right now we're even once we ring out in terms of like global points. Oh, I missed that ring out. Don't you lose me time to this now. Come on. Okay, that was really close. Alright, round 2, and now... Oh, but what the hell was this start pattern? I've never seen that start pattern before. Alright, and now do not ring myself on this because I've lost runs to ringing myself out on like the last thing before. Like essentially like, you know, oh, ring out, and then ring out again, but then I would lose by points. Because right now, we're behind by 2 points. If I would ring out again, we would lose by 4 points. But because I will be winning this by KO, we're winning by 1 point. And we will go to New York 2 out of 1. Okay, just combo them down. We also happen to get, so what team you get? Essentially, there's multiple teams in a World Championship, and what team you get is also randomized. So that's like the only like RNG left at this point. And I don't actually know the name of the team, I just know that the RPMs we're seeing is really low. So we actually got really lucky team-wise here. But, you know, that leaves more hype RPM teams for round 2 round 2 in New York. So we're done with New York 2, and we're gonna be going on a little bit of a sightseeing trip. So this game actually got accepted to no glitches alone. I know this sound, you know, with the graphical glitches, but you know that's just my emulator setup right now. I don't know what's actually going on with that. But this is you are supposed to go to like 5, 6. I don't actually know the amount of cities, different cities. We're not doing that. Like screw that. We're speedrunners. So we're in Rome now. And what we're going to be doing is, we're going to be picking Kenny and Daiki again, but we're going to be picking Daiki first. That's because we want to start New York 2 with Kenny. And now, with Daiki, we're going to be moving over here, and all we care about is gaining control as fast as possible, because on the first match, you get thrown into the first best of 3. We're just gonna throw. We're literally just gonna pretty much do everything. The points we have here don't matter. They will get reset once we trigger this glitch. It is a glitch. Like, let's be like, I don't know how it got accepted. I actually made like a straw poll. Like everyone was like, this is a glitch. So I'm not gonna hope I could, but I need to make sure I don't go down far enough. Also, would trigger, you know, the second best of 3, and then I would have to pretty much launch everything again. And we're gonna be heading to the airport. Because every city also has its own airport. Essentially, if you leave the stadium area, you're going to be going to that city's airport. You can actually leave the World Championship prematurely. And we're going to be flying back to New York. And then, as I said, we're going to do a little sightseeing trip around New York. And this kind of just breaks the game. So, number 1, game things were now at the final battle. Well, I say now at the like final, you know, thing of New York. Number 2, walking animations get glitched and the rounds start immediately. So that's another time save. And number 3, we skip like a million cities in between, so you know, that's also cool. Unfortunately, we did get Kai's team, which, you know, Kai has super high RPM and his team members have as well. So, I don't know, it's looking PB-wise, maybe, maybe not. Probably not, though, probably not. If I had to guess, probably not looking like a PB. It's kind of crazy that this is actually like PB pace, even with all the like missed perfect launches. But then again, I did get a bunch of ring outs, so that's cool. But yeah, same thing as previously. First, because our points are now reset. So first best of 3, win 2 by KO. I already ring out once on round 1, so I just gotta win the remaining 2 by KO now. And then rest is just math, and then we win again by 1 single point. Also, just a quick refresher in case anyone's new here. Combos are either up, down, A, like that, or right, left, A. There's actually another combo, it's the LR A combo, but that's really bad. You know what? Just for showing it off. Actually, no. Let's use the bit beast first, because this will pretty much roughly exactly kill Kai, and I'd rather do that now instead of waiting for it on round 3. So just to show it off, I will do an LR combo, and okay, that's actually interesting. Like, normally, I'm not gonna do it again, but normally it does less hits than an up-down combo. I guess I just jinxed myself by saying it's worse, and the game is just hello. It's actually not worse, Cap, but it is. And Kai, no, it didn't. It's just a bit disabled up. I thought Kai got a perfect launch there. Screw that happening. Kai getting a perfect launch is recipe to lose like a minute and a half. Because Kai gets like, is one of these opponents that get like crazy amounts of extra health from perfect launches. Actually, we'll use the left R combo again, but I don't think it matters. Weird. What the hell, dude? I swear to God, there was a downside. I might have just forgot. It might have been that it's just faster to use the up-down combo. Like, it is... Or maybe cards was wrong, because cards apparently timed, like, combos and everything, and, like, said, you know, up-down is way faster than LR, so, maybe cards was wrong, who knows, but I'm gonna keep using what I'm known as. What I know. And finish off this run, because after this there's just gonna be, you know, 6 more ring outs, you know, 2 for every best of 3, for the 3 best of 3s, and 3 more KOs so we get 3 out of 3 bit beats. So this run is pretty much over soon. We're doing time was 10. So essentially from this point on we have like a little bit less than 5 minutes to finish the run, but there's like a 40-second credit sequence at the end to get to the actual credits, which is on time. And I still have to combo down Kai here, so probably not. It's probably gonna be a, like, I know on the layout it says 217 because that's my actual, like, real leaderboard PB. I guess I can submit this until I re-encode my 250. Kai, don't you fucking... I apologize for profanity there, but that was monker. If Kai winged himself out there, that would have been just... She's 17 dead as well. Like, we'd be looking at, like, a 2-minute time loss. Holy crap, Kai. Don't you dare. But yeah, unfortunately, we do finish this round 3 with our full bit. Maybe we should start mashing with a full bit base. Okay, we can move down the Tyson, but the other, like, Daiki and Kenny don't move down anymore. So at this point, we are 4 points ahead again, and we're just gonna, you know, get our launches, get our ring outs, hopefully fast like that. If I do, maybe real PB still thing. If I miss a perfect launch here, real PB is probably dead. And now battle 3 out of 3. If I miss a 211 to 12, nah, it's 215 is not happening. Maybe high 215, but better. Oh right, just heist. Yeah, it's PB is not happening. Real PB that is. I don't know. I might still get a sub like layout, like official, that I can, you know, submit for now until I can code a thing, but probably not. Crazy, given how much time I lost to my perfect launches. Oh, we can't actually break through his Blaze defense too. Oh my god. The game's just throwing everything at me now. So at this point, it's just, once again, mowing down opponents until the end. Come on. Yeah, it's probably not looking too good. Don't you? Oh, I can't break through that. Will you not? Thank you. So at this point, I actually have to hope that our opponent doesn't defend, so I can actually get the damage through. Because if they defend, then I'm essentially just gonna bounce off the defending thing. Like that. Exactly like that. And I'm probably gonna, yeah, I can get a bit beast off here. Finish, Brian, that's his name. I can finish Brian off like that. And... yeah, there's 2 more best of 3s at this point. Yeah, this is not looking good. It feels bad. What can you do? Leading now by 3 points, as I said. So now after this, we're gonna be leading by 2 points, and then leading by 1 point. So Kai's coming up again, so Kai's gonna have a ton of health, of course. Yep. Oh, what? Ate my input again. Hello? Oh yeah, rip time. There. Okay, that was really that should have not ringed out. Like I actually fell back down on the way, so I don't know how that ringed out. Oh, I hate that star pattern, by the way, because that was my fault. I just missed the input there. Oh my god, these are all my fault, by the way. This is just me missing the inputs. Oh my god, I'm gonna miss 217 as well, aren't I? Alright, inverse, round... I was just gonna confirm that this is round 3 because my mental state right now is not appropriate. Yep, that's definitely... real PB is gone. Play crap, right, Kappa? This music's really quiet. Let me up it. If we got another team with low RPM, maybe I could have still gotten a 215, but yeah, that's like the last like big RNG thing. And well, we lucked out on New York 1, but what can you do? It's a marathon with games that centered around our heavy RNG. What can you do? Oh, that combo! Oh, that was 4 extra hits! 1 more and we would have tied my record for extra hits. That's crazy. Anyway, Kai's pretty much done here. We have 1 more fight left to go after this. 1 more best of 3s, which were obviously... again, same strats. Finish off Kai with a bit beast. Or not, because he's... oh, I should have just hit an attack. Whatever. Yeah, I definitely should have just hit an attack. That would have been a little bit faster. So yeah, this point, the first point card is inaccurate. This one gap of 2 points. And here's our final 3 rounds. Beyblade Evolution, pretty much. Oh, that was a really fast bounce. I just didn't see that coming. Oh, I don't know how that ring out, but okay. Alright, let's not forget, don't ring out on burn 3, because that's how I lost the PB before. No joke. I ringed myself out on Battle 3 just by pure habit before and lost on this last match. And lost like a 3-minute PB over that. That would have been a G16. That would have still had like 219 or 20 or something on the leaderboard. Yeah, that... Also, Kai's starting with like 4,000 now. That's amazing. Oh, what can you do? Yeah, real PB. I just realized layout PB instead as well. What can you do? I lost. If I didn't get all the like miss perfect launches, might have gotten a temporary like leaderboard PB that I can submit like just from the marathon mod, and with better luck on the final on the team RNG for the World Championship, I might have gotten sub 215 maybe. But yeah, just so you know how much this game can go down, my sum of best for this game is below 2 hours. Like, this game can easily go, like, 150, like, actually, like, perfect achievement run, say. Like, absolute perfect, like, RNG achievement run. Probably, like, 1.5x something. That's how much RNG there is in regards to ring down. Yeah, we're building up the last mid beast for the final attack, and that's day 2. Last attack of day 2 of the marathon. But runs not over when you beat your final opponent, because there is like a little bit of text boxes before the credits, and obviously we're gonna read the credits, so you know. I think Kai's not dead yet. Kai's definitely not dead yet, but should be now. And that's it. Final battle, final done, and we win by 1 single point. Also, because the game is a little bit confused, you're supposed to like go up to the base stadium here, but since the game essentially thinks we're in a different city here, the like movements get like a little bit glitched out. But yeah, time is when the final text box, like when you get past the final text box, which is the exact is when the Kai's portrait disappears. And the line to look for is you just never give. I actually forget the exact line. Something about you never give up, because Daiki's gonna be like, I still want a rematch. Daiki still wants a rematch. I'm world champion. There's the final textbook, and that's time. And that is and time didn't stop. Great, my life split didn't stop, so I'm guessing that was a 2:19:47 from my end. Correct me if that's wrong. Why are you not stopping? How long? Probably because of global hotkeys. Oh, that's my best guess. But yeah, that's Beyblade Evolution. The credits are not special, it's just regular scrolling, infinite scrolling credits, so I figured I'll let those play for a little bit while I'm finding out, since this is the end of day 2. Might as well leave the music, because actually no, because then it's gonna drown out my voice. So that's the end of day 2. I hope you guys enjoyed the graphical glitches, because I don't know why that's happening, but I guess that's a thing now. I'll have to fix server on this game again. And if you stick around, we're gonna be back. This isn't a 24-hour marathon yet, probably because we'll wait with 4 streamers. But unfortunately the schedule was made when there was when they assumed that Skip would be the only one who's streaming, so, they kind of had to put in sleep mobs. But they got me, so Skip kind of was able to go to bed early, but we're gonna be back, actually, relatively soon. It's just gonna be like 3 hours or so, until we're gonna be back with Cave Noir by Dragon C0. And then on day 3 we got that, we got Darkest Dungeon, we got Faster Than Light. I'm looking forward to this if I can wake up in time. I'm probably gonna get a few hours of sleep. Or I stay up, depending on how I feel. Maybe I'll stay up and just be very tired watching that run. Castle of the Winds, and then we finish off the marathon with Wayward Souls on day 3. So I hope you guys stick around for that. We also got a ton of incentives for that, so do check out the schedule. Do check out. Speaking of that, since I wasn't able to read donations during the run, let me check if we got any. But I'm guessing one of the staff members would have come in. Oh, that is playing on. That probably played through the main system audio. I apologize for that. That probably went through on stream. Oh. Probably tomorrow. This is obviously it's late at night, so it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, that's Beyblade Evolution. These credits have been starting for long enough. There's a little like end, so I see, you know, Tyson sleeping. You know, your uncle is finally like, you know, you really did it. Cool. So at this point, you can actually free roam like the game speed, and you can actually like free roam and like you can do whatever. But I'd like to end it on the screen.